to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That is the word. Vote on it. Make our decision. If the people vote and they want the zoning, then it will be zoned. They don't want the zoning, they won't be zoned. You have made it a choice of taking away our legal right. The legal right to be Americans. Now you have turned around and you want to make it your right. We are not Russia or China or any other country that's under communist rule. We are in the United States of America. Let it be our vote. Only our vote, not yours.
Amen. Next speaker. Is it not y'all's jobs to represent us? We're going to have to say dictate. We don't need zoning. We don't need you to tell us what to do. If people would just spend more time minding their own business on their own property than what their neighbors are doing. And I agree 100% with the arrogance of our David. He gives out no business sitting on this board. Thank you.
I want to acknowledge the arrogance of some on the board there that's been getting in the newspaper here lately, and they say that they want the buck stop here. We're not going to let the folk have their say.
Don Yelson, North Buncombe, and this is something that I want to share with the commissioners in a minute. But we're having a public hearing where if we speak within 3 minutes, and where if we don't clap our hands, and where if we don't mention names, we can say what we want to say. That, my friends, is not a public hearing. That's a controlled meeting. Yeah! Now, let's go on, Nathan. They stopped clapping because it is an orchestrated meeting, because it's the same kind of meetings you had when you went around to each of the schools. Let's hear what we've heard today. We've heard today that South Buncombe has been the longest zoned place in Buncombe County. Where are more of your adult bookstores at? South Buncombe. Which area of Buncombe County has the worst traffic congestion of any area in Buncombe County? South Buncombe. And in South Buncombe, we had a farm that the neighbors loved, and somebody that owned that farm sold that farm and then turned around and put 70-some houses on it, and then the developer that bought it rezoned it to 300 and some houses, and I think the neighbors were very upset, Ms. Peterson. And by the way, that was a zoned area. Now, we also have in South Buncombe right here, I'll show you this. It says exempt from Buncombe County Land Development and Subdivision Ordinances 8/1997 Jim Coleman. That's what your zoning director can do for you. He can say none of the things you're applying applies if the person that's got that land has got the proper connections. And the man that's got that proper connections is the old CTS property, and I'll have this all outside if any of the press want to take the time to look at it. Now, let's have a vote. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty, and let's look at the real issue, because David Young, for you, I just found out. River Basin-based taxation is a possibility. Yes, I talked to some attorneys. I received a letter from Wanda Green saying it wasn't true, but based upon the way Joe Conley did the deal for the landfill down in Woodford and the way he did the transmapping thing and didn't have a termination clause in it, I don't think your advice was too good. River Basin-based taxation, rewarding the developer for doing the proper thing, is a viable option. It removes the probability of zoning, and you don't have to tell your neighbor what to do. If the lady who said this farm she liked, you heard what the person said that was for zoning. Well, my son had to sell his farm and move 50 miles, but boy, did he get a lot of money for it. That's what's going to happen to your farm up there, ma'am, in Riceville, when the zoning forces that owner to sell it. The property owners can take better care of it than anybody on this board. And guess what? My time is running out, but you know who else's time is running out? The people that vote for zoning will be thrown out of office in less than 2 years.
If you all vote in zoning tonight, I'll not apologize for voting for Ms. Peterson, Mr. Young, and Mr. Gant. I'll not apologize for voting for them, but I'll not make the same mistake twice.
Now, you five commissioners, several of you have been on the board for many, many years, and you've heard we, the people, say, no, many times.
I don't know what y'all are doing. We asked not to zone. We don't want zoning. Please give us a vote.
Say that zoning ain't right. I don't think we need it. Because 3 people want zoning. How many of y'all want zoning? 2, 3. We got a few. But that's it, man. We don't want it.
The gentleman stole my thunder when he asked everybody to put their hands up that wanted to have voting and then not to have voting. But it is true, you represent us. Please, when you vote, do not vote your personal desires. Vote for the people in this room. Once again, show the hands that do not want zoning. Hold them up. Leave them up. Leave them up. This is no zoning wanting.
How many of y'all want zoning? 2, 3. We got a few. But that's it, man. We don't want it.
And show the hands that do not want zoning. Hold them up. Leave them up. Leave them up. This is no zoning wanting. And show the hands that do not want zoning. Hold them up. Leave them up. Leave them up. This is no zoning wanting.